are live from Affiliate Summit West in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Dun, dun, dun.
We're lively pre-recorded.
Hi, thanks for coming. Feel free to take a closer seat. I mean, you know, we do have some reserved seating, but you guys can ignore that if you want.
I'll put in a mint if that is what's keeping you back there. I'm sorry.
And we're going to give drink tickets to everyone that
dine and
comes
dash
here, so tweet your friends.
here.
Yeah,
'Cause
I mean,
they
just
are
tell
going to, in
everybody.
about 5 or 10 minutes, realize they picked the wrong session. Kind of how that
And
rolls.
we don't
I
like,
love those other sessions, but I mean, you know, we're better.
but like the awesomeness. So there's
Yeah.
that.
Okay, shh. Okay, hi, this is Dave Taylor, and we're going to be looking at the affiliate/affiliate manager relationship. And as a quick show of hands, how many of you are affiliates? Affiliate managers? Okay, so isn't that ironic that there are no affiliates in the room other than us, I guess?
Their loss.
So I have in my esteemed panel, Christen and Tricia. And I will let each of them introduce themselves because that actually tends to work better. So Tricia, why don't you go first?
Sure, I'm Tricia Lynn Favre. I'm an affiliate program manager with Snow Consulting. I've been an affiliate manager since about 2007, both working in-house with companies in their marketing department and as an outsourced manager, managing multiple programs at once, juggling many hats and not so many balls because I can't juggle.
Wait, you're juggling hats. That's a very mixed metaphor.
I like it though.
And so therefore,
I mean,
Therefore-
Christen.
I'm Christen Moynihan. I am the editorial and accounts manager for a budget wedding blog called The Broke-Ass Bride. We are fairly new-ish to the affiliate space, and when I say that, I mean the last year and a half, but the last year and a half has been an amazing success, and we'll find out why later. Dun, dun, dun. Stay tuned.
Right, so I want to start out by, and I also am an affiliate, and so I want to start out by asking Tricia, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. And the reason I'm going to do that is because we have a lot of affiliate managers in the room. And I think for a lot of affiliate managers, as far as I can tell as an affiliate, there's sort of this mystery around how do you actually build a relationship, because your boss is asking for numbers, and you have that 80-20 rule, which is like 80% of your affiliates will bring in nothing, or maybe 20% of your sales. So how do you figure out who's going to be a good affiliate, and how do you build the relationship with them?
well, part of that is if you return my email, you're already on my A-list. Because even the best affiliates, you could be number one of that 20% and not return a single email. And while, you know, that will appease, say, my boss who's looking for those numbers, it doesn't appease the relationship because there is no relationship. Their relationship is I get a check from CJ or Share a Sale or whatever network. And they don't necessarily need me to do much more than make sure the links are updated. But going into whatever niche that the merchant is in, that's what helps me determine who is worth having a relationship with. You know, are they focused on coupons? Do I want to push and try to get to know the people at the coupon sites? Are they more interested in bloggers like Christen? I want to get to know bloggers like Christen. Are they interested in review sites like Dave's? I want to get to know Dave because he's got the review sites they want to be on. So it benefits their numbers, and that it just makes me have to prioritize that, because ultimately their numbers are going to benefit by me knowing you and knowing that because we have a relationship, you will give them as a merchant the time of day in terms of putting their links up or writing an extra review, giving them a little bit of extra love in a newsletter or something to that extent.
Right, and I think that that's a hugely important point, and I want to really emphasize it for the affiliate managers here, is that, you know, I think that a lot of affiliates are hoping they'll get special attention. And there are often affiliate managers that their special attention is, hey, you're on the list. And that can be disheartening, especially if you start to work with other companies that do special things. So Christen, take it away.
So one of the ways that you can look at it, and obviously this is like the easiest analogy in the whole wide world for me because I work in the wedding space, but learning how to build a relationship with an affiliate manager and actually doing so is kind of like a wedding. You've never done it before, you don't really know what to do. Actually,
nowadays most people have probably been through a previous wedding.
Yeah. But second and third time brides still have no clue. No clue. For real.
That's a whole separate website.
Yeah, it's off topic. So it's kind of like planning a wedding, and your affiliate manager is kind of like your wedding planner. They're going to sit there and they're going to help you and hold your hand, and you need that because at the end of the day, you're going to have this beautiful celebration. Or in our terms, that means you're getting conversions, you're having success, you're making money, and that makes everybody happy, right? It's like being happy drunk at the end of a wedding.
It's like instead of saying, did you think about invitations, I say, did you think about using widgets?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's making the most of what opportunities you have, but for a lot of affiliates, they're not really sure what they're doing. You know, there has to be some hand holding, otherwise it's going to be banners and links and like nothing else.
And a lot of decline emails.
A lot of decline emails. I mean, yeah, one of the best tips that I ever got was from one of my affiliate managers that was just like, hey, when you apply to us, write something in the little box. You can even just be like, hey, yo, it's C money, like approve me. And it worked.
Which is literally what she wrote on an application.
As she was sitting next
As
to
I
me.
was sitting there next to her yesterday or the day before, something like that.
But it's about building best tips and best practices so that everybody shares the success.
Right. Well, and I think that that's symptomatic of the fact that a lot of people in the affiliate space see this as a big data game.
Sure.
You know, when I see the affiliate programs where they have a data feed, it's like a data feed is not encouraging me to have that hands-on. It's not encouraging me to create content around each affiliate link that's going to help people make a purchase decision. And so then it becomes, well, if we have 1 million links across the entire internet, then therefore we should be getting a lot more sales. And so I think one of the things that you're saying, and actually both of you are saying, is a smaller number of higher quality relationships works a lot better than just applying to every single antivirus company that's in CJ or something.
Right. And the benefit, you know, one of the key benefits for me of having good relationships with affiliates is that I learn things from them. So you bring up the data feed. We were talking yesterday about a merchant and their data feed, and she was saying the only reason she uses their data feed is to get pictures for her blog posts. Because on their site they have like a shockwave zoom feature that you can't easily left click or right click rather and save. So, and that's helpful to me to know to make sure their images are good, because, you know, content sites like hers that are perfect for this particular merchant, that's where they're getting the images from. So make sure those images jive with what's on their site, you know. So by being able to talk to her casually and know these kinds of things, I can benefit my merchant by being able to put actionable tools for them that will help their affiliates and thus help their affiliates make money and help them make more money.
Right. So Christen, walk us through, how do you pick, let's say you decide you're going to write about getting married on a cruise ship. Sure. And now you have all these possible affiliate links. You can go to somewhere like Commission Junction or ShareASale and do a search for cruise, and there's hundreds of different companies. And, you know, on CJ, for example, it's very quantitative. So they have like the little data that shows you what percentage of sales and how much average payout and all this stuff. Do you look at that, or do you look at the brand and say, who's going to be the best match for my reader?
So I do look at the brand, but it's also, I also reach out to see if the affiliate manager responds, and if they don't respond, I go find their competitor. I go find somebody that does respond to me, because why do I want to work with somebody that doesn't really care about me? What's the point of that? So while the data is important on some level, it's not as important as actually working with a brand who's willing to work with, working with an affiliate manager who's willing to work with us, which also helps build brand trust and brand recognition, which leads to conversions.
Yeah, I spend probably an hour every morning answering emails from affiliates that are just, can you tell me more about your affiliate program for such and, you know, whatever program. And you know, it might be a very short, well, what is it that you want to know about the program? All of our, you know, stats are here and here, you know, so because some people don't, they're just looking for a response to see if you respond. So, I mean, it probably almost every day, about an hour in the morning is what I spend, you know, getting back to people. And somebody taught me a long time ago that you should respond to every email. So even if I don't know what they're, if there's a break in translation, if they're trying to, I respond to a lot of emails that aren't in English, and I don't speak other languages, but Google Translate saves my life. So
Those must be very entertaining.
oh, they are. I mean, I get emails in Russian and Portuguese and Chinese, and I mean, because one of our merchants is a fashion site that's global, and there's a lot of fashion bloggers and a lot of fashion sites, and so I get these emails and I do my best. I send them a response in English, and I tell them I use Google Translate. Here's the response in Portuguese or Spanish or Russian or whatever, and it's kind of a pain to go and do use Google Translate to do this, but I'm not going to leave them hanging. They could be the next Polyvore. They could be the next Style Watch. I'm gonna go ahead. They could be huge in their country, and I just don't know of them because I've never been to Brazil. So I'm not gonna leave them hanging if they could be the next top 10 affiliate.
Right, and I think that's like the first takeaway here is that for affiliate managers and for affiliates, a small number of high quality relationships is much more beneficial than a large number of poor relationships.
Absolutely.
And honestly, I look at some of the really big networks and I feel like that is not at all how they look at it.
No.
Because I would make it harder to qualify so that you have more of a filter and you have less people promoting your stuff, because you have that sort of nightmare scenario where they're spamming promoting your product. And I can go through my Gmail spam folder and see major brands in there. And that doesn't reflect well on the brand. So I did want to say that a lot of the sessions, they've had people wait till the end to ask questions. But if you guys want to just yell out a question or something, we are quite happy to take it. We are happy for the additional bonus content. So ask if you have a question. And I want to ask you, Tricia, what makes a really great affiliate? I mean, when you think of all the people that you work with in an affiliate relationship, what is the common point that the really great ones have? I mean, like Christen, for example.
I mean, at least $5,000 in sales a day. No,
Oh, you're so funny.
sorry.
You're so funny.
No, we're pesos, 5,000 pesos.
Pesos. Bitcoin. You're fine. Sit.
I'm mining Bitcoin as I talk.
What makes a really good affiliate? Answering my email. Because that's where it starts. If I have, answering my email is how you get your opportunity. So, I was thinking about this the other day. And if Christen lived in my town and said, I need to get my nails done, where should I go? I'm not going to tell her, there's a nail salon on Main Street, there's one on 4th Street, and there's another one around the corner. I'm going to tell her, go to the one on 4th Street. That's the one I go to. I really like it. So if a merchant comes to me and says, I have an opportunity for a blogger, what blogger should I give it to? I'm not going to say, well, there's wedding site XYZ, there's wedding site ABC, and there's Broke Ass Bride. I'm going to say, give it to Broke Ass Bride because she's going to answer my email, and I've worked with them, and I know that they can bring traffic or that they can bring the kind of brand recognition that you're looking for, whatever, their end goal is. I know that they can perform, and I know that they will appreciate the offer. It's not going to go on deaf ears. It's not going to be throwing, pasta at a wall and seeing what sticks and what falls on the floor. It's going to be a dart and not a wet spaghetti noodle. So
There's metaphor number 2.
more to come.
Are you tweeting all the metaphors?
Please,
Should be
someone
tweeting
tweet
all the
Hashtag,
metaphors.
yeah.
At Trisha Lynn.
Yes, that is true. So answering my email and being responsive and giving me feedback if there's something that they don't like about a merchant, not just, living with it and then saying, man, I really wish they had this, If you look at something and say, hey, I really wish that Luna Bazaar had banners that were shot by color.
That would be amazing.
That would be amazing. Guess what? Next week they're going to have banners that are shot by
I
color.
don't even know what that means, but I'm a guy.
It's a wedding thing. It's a
It's
wedding
a wedding
thing.
thing.
It's all going to match. man.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
Aubergine is not the same as lavender. That's all you have to know.
And then there's the color of the year,
Okay,
Marsala.
raise your hand if you knew that.
All right.
My wedding bloggers, my co-wedding bloggers.
Yes.
Yay.
So, but that's my point. If she says there's this kind of obvious thing that you guys don't have, but you have it on your site. We'd like to promote that. Tell me that, because especially being an OPM and managing multiple programs, my day is not all wedding, not all Luna Bazaar all the time. I've got Discount Watch Store and, other merchants that I'm trying to deal with. So sometimes you got to hit me over the head, but that's what I want, because that's how we make the programs better. That's how, to go back to those numbers, we give them the numbers they want. Because the more we work, she's not going to make a sale the first day necessarily, maybe not the first month or year.
But it's gonna happen, y'all.
But slow and steady wins the race. And I think, affiliates that don't see that and they just want to make the quick buck, sure, they're going to make December they're going to make January's numbers look awesome, but February is going to look like you just kicked out all your affiliates because they made their quick buck, they got kicked out of Google, and they moved on to the next program.
Right, so I'm going to ask you this, basically the same question, Christen, but you have to remember that we had an agreement before the panel that you couldn't say what she said.
Right.
So what makes a great affiliate manager? I have to come up with completely new things.
A great affiliate manager, I mean, obviously there's the obvious where, they get back to me, but also brainstorming, helping me come up with ideas or expanding and elaborating on ideas that I have and knowing that it's going to work. And again, it might not work today, it might not work tomorrow, but that's going to work. It will work. And that coming up with great ideas for evergreen content, which helps us both in the long run, is really the crux of it. But also just responding to my super needy demands all the time.
Dude, Facebook Messenger all the time with this one.
All the time. Like on the regs, I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and email with pretty much every single one of my close affiliate managers, and I'm asking things of them, and they're responding. And sometimes the response is like, yeah, go away. This is not going to happen.
I'm having dinner.
Yeah,
Shouldn't you be?
Shouldn't you be doing something other than working for once? But it is about response, but it's also about being like, this is not a thing that can happen. It's about education. So, again, I mean, my analogy earlier about the wedding, it's your first time doing it. So you really need somebody to be like, okay, there are best practices that you can do. There are things that you can implement that we've seen success in some ways. So try that. See if that works for you. And here's the data to back everything up. Okay, that's not working. Let's try this way. That to me personally is the biggest it's the biggest benefit to anything, is just learning how to be the most awesome. Because awesome.
Don't you mean because #awesome?
Because #die.
So let's talk numbers for a second. I think that for years we've heard people say, oh, it's quality, not quantity. But I work with a lot of agencies, and they really care a lot about numbers. So is that a primary criterion for you to decide who should get a deal or who should join an affiliate program? Or if a vendor comes along and says, cherry pick your half dozen best, does that just simply mean the half dozen with the most traffic?
Or is it the most conversions?
Okay.
It depends. It depends what their criteria is. If they want the half dozen with the high, I have one of my merchants that wanted more clicks in their program. They weren't concerned about sales or conversions. They wanted more clicks. And I was like, okay, sure, we'll work on that. So it could be, take your top 5 with the highest clicks, or take your top 5 with the highest conversion rate, or the highest number of sales this month or this week. Or sometimes it's take all the affiliates that had their first sale ever this month, and do more for them, or, see what you can do. So it really, for one, depends on what the merchant's idea of top is. Which metric are they using to define top? And then in terms of, do I take Christen because she's awesome, or do I take
#awesome?
#awesome. I'm sorry. How
Get it
could
right.
I'm so sorry. Do I take Christen as part of that top 10, or do I take a blog that has made more sales, or a coupon site that's made more sales? And I try to do a mix. So if I say, well, let's expand that. You asked me for the top 5. Let's do the top 10. And I can give you a mix of quality sites and those top sites so that we can give the opportunity for the sites that I know are going to get back to me and are going to do this opportunity correctly and go from there.
Yeah, because I think that, speaking as an affiliate, just as you are, there's always the fear that the merchant is looking in multiple categories, and one of the categories just blows away another one. So like as a dad blogger, there are very, 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 very few dad bloggers that are getting any percentage of the traffic that the really top mom bloggers are getting.
Yeah.
So if they're just looking for top parents, it's like, well, then like automatically you've screened out every single dad. And so, Christen, do you ever worry about that in terms of your numbers?
I do. I mean, especially being a budget wedding blog, we're like a niche within a niche within a niche, like, oh my goodness. And it's hard because, I stalk other wedding blogs on the regs, and I know that I can't necessarily compare with them on some levels, especially, traffic-wise, probably conversions and stuff. But what I can offer is the best quality or the most unique quality.
Yeah.
My blog happens to be very sassy and very irreverent, and sometimes that's exactly the voice that some people want. They're getting the classy voices over at other blogs, but they're getting the sassy voice with me.
There's your bumper sticker, classy versus sassy.
Like, what up? And so yes, I do worry that we don't necessarily compare sometimes, but that's also where the relationship comes in. If I don't compare, I expect her to tell me that I don't compare and why, because I don't want to sit there worrying about it. Like, get it over with, move on. Like, ow, okay, done. But I need that information so that I don't, opine over it.
Yeah, and it's important, for me to be upfront, because if you said, hey, I need an exclusive coupon, that's what I need. It's important for me, if I know that this merchant doesn't offer exclusive coupons, to say, I'm really sorry that I can't, I've tried, or whatever reason they don't do it. Or if you came to me and said, I need coupons that are higher than 5%, and happened. And I say, this is why they're not higher than that. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, let me try, and then come back and say, oh, they wouldn't do it,
Or just not say anything at all.
Or just not say anything at all, and just, hopefully she forgot, So,
I don't forget.
no. So, I'm going to be honest and say, look, this is why they're doing it. This is, this is their game plan. This is the merchant's game plan. This is why the coupons are low. This is their 3-month plan or their 6-month plan or whatever, if I have that information to share, So it's important for me to be upfront so that you have managed expectations. I'm not telling you, oh yeah, let me look into that. Oh yeah, I'm still working on it. No, I'm still working on it, and keep you, on the hook while I'm trying to just keep you creating content and publishing links and tweeting them out and putting in your newsletter. No, it's coming. That's not okay, because at the end of the day, that's going to ruin that relationship. And you're going to be, forget this person. Let me talk to this other merchant over here. Let me talk to this other manager over here. And I know affiliates that are in a niche that's super, super specific, and it can't work with the most perfect merchant in that niche because they can't get an answer to an email. And they may still keep their link up just because it would be, people would ask why they don't have a link to this place, but they don't do anything special with them because they can't get an email back.
Right, so let me follow on to that, because as we said earlier, if you go to somewhere like CJ, you can see the analytics. So from an affiliate's perspective, you can see some analytics on programs. But the other direction, it's much harder. So as an affiliate manager, how do you vet applications? Do you just let CJ do it? Do you automatically approve everybody, or do you do some research and investigate?
I just close my eyes and hit buttons.
You use so you use the spaghetti noodle, not the dart.
No. So what we do, and there's different, or what I do, I should say, and there's different theories. There's 2 theories of the manual approval versus the auto approve. You can auto approve and then police on the back end, or you can vet up front and it's easier to police. And I prefer to vet up front and it's easier to police, because then you're not letting cookie cutter coupon sites that are just using Coupon Press or Clipper or whatever, that have no value to anybody.
For a second?
Sure.
If a program auto approves, I almost immediately quit the program because I know that I'm probably not going to get a very good communication from my affiliate manager.
And that's good to know.
Right, now since we have affiliate managers in the room, does anyone auto-approve every application? No.
I see a lot of this.
I mean, I wouldn't expect that you would do that and come to this talk, but
Yeah.
worth a shot.
Just saying, making sure. So, I look at every website. Obviously, if they have 10 websites listed and I'm, looking at the applications and it's a watch merchant, I'm going to look at the one that's really obviously a watch, and maybe I'll look at some of the other ones. But if they're obviously, very niche, then, I may not look at every single website they have listed on an application. But I'll look at definitely the one that's relevant, and depending on what the URLs are, or I'll maybe look at the other ones just to make sure that there's not something crazy going on one of the other sites, because obviously, even if I approve you for your watch review site, you could go put the link on your porn site or something, so I
There
kind
goes
of,
my whole business plan.
that's all Dave's money.
Foiled!
Watches on porn sites.
Yeah, so, I do look at some of their other applications or their other websites a little bit, especially if it's not obvious to me which site they intend to use a link on, and I see if it's relevant to the merchant. Can I imagine people that are going to this site would be interested in what this merchant is selling? And all of the programs that I manage are cost per sale, so they're all selling a product. So I take that into consideration. I take that their whatever they've reported to the network as their promotional methods, I take that into consideration. If they're a loyalty site, or if they're offering cash back, if they're coupons, if they are a self-reported content site, or a blogger, or comparison shopping, whatever, an app, whatever they do. And then I also do take into consideration the quality of their site. Does it load fairly quickly? Is it hanging up? Does it load at all? If it doesn't load at all, they get declined. Because if I can't judge,
That's fair.
you would think, hashtag duh, there are applications that come through CJ that don't have a website listed. Yeah,
Which really makes you wonder, and your promotional strategy is?
right, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Are they listing a website that I know that I can be relatively sure they own? Applications come through where the website they have listed is Google, or PayPal, or Yahoo. Yeah.
It's Dave and Jerry.
And some are they do that because they're search and they don't have a website. But I think you need to have something that indicates to me that that's why, or that's what you do, or So I try to figure out how they're going to promote the merchant. If I can't figure that out, if their site doesn't load very well, I will decline them. And what I'm hoping for, if I get, for example, a site that doesn't load, what I'm really hoping for is that I'll get an email from them saying, hey, you declined me. Why? Could you maybe tell me why you declined me? And then I'll be happy to look at their site again, because sometimes I look at the site again and it loads fine. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, it must not have loaded for me the first time. Or, maybe you had a site glitch, or maybe my internet, fizzled out for a minute or something. Who knows what happened. Or, I want them to come back to me and say, oh, I'm actually in the middle of a site redesign. If I tell them, well, the quality of your site is a little shaky, and the user, if they say, oh, we're actually doing a redesign right now, I want to hear that back, because I'll give them a second chance. I'm not that much of a hard ass. So
Nice
She's
of
totally
you.
lying.
But that's what I
Now we
want.
have
Like
this
if I missed something, I want the affiliate to come back to me and say, could you take a second look? And this is why you should take a second look. But generally speaking, and sometimes if I'm unsure, if something's, I've been doing this, for 7 years, and some of it just seems fishy. you know, and it's kind of an intuition thing. And I'll maybe check, you know, who is on their site, or, you know, look them up on Alexa or similar web, or, you know, something to kind of see what stats I can get, or demographics or something, to really dive in and see. If I'm really unsure of why would they even join this program, I don't understand, I'll try to understand. And if I just can't figure out why, or, you know, that'll be a decline. But most of the time, if it's a good-looking website, if it's within the niche, or if it's, you know, maybe niche adjacent, you know, and I can see, well, you know, you're a wedding blog, but I can totally see why you would want to sell watches or something, you know, groomsmen gifts, or, you know, yeah. So I can see, if I can see your angle, even if it's not dead on, then I'll approve you, because I can see that there's potential.
There's an opportunity.
Right.
So what I don't hear is, I don't hear that you do any sort of analytics. You don't go and say, well, you have, you know, you need a minimum of 10,000 visitors a month or something. You don't go and look at their Alexa ranking or anything.
I do sometimes.
Okay.
But
Is
generally
that,
speaking,
and
no.
is that because you've looked at the site and you're like, this doesn't even look like it's live? Do they actually get traffic? Is that sort of the process?
Yeah. I'll look up like Alexa ranking or something like that. If, like in CJ, we can see like different bar levels, and that usually indicates performance. We can't see actual numbers. But if they have like a really high bar level, but their site looks kind of awful, I'll look that up and say, well, you know, why are they're clearly getting sales? How, you know, how is anybody buying anything through this website, you know?
Yeah.
Or, you know, maybe it's a website that's not my personal taste, like starts playing music or something right when you get there. And so, you know, like you know, maybe it's just not my taste. So let me see if I can find some stats on them and see if I'm wrong, you know? So I do look at stats sometimes if I can't figure out how they're getting the traffic. But I mean, that's only, you know, in the network if I do see their, you know, the high bar ranking, or in share sale, we can see very little.
So what does high bar ranking mean?
I don't know.
And yet it's important to you.
Okay.
I think
This is a question I'm ill prepared for, and I will admit that right now. I don't know off the top of my head what the...
It's some sort of performance indicator.
It is a performance
of how
indicator.
the affiliate does
so
overall.
there's if you're a five bar in CJ, you're probably a CJP, a CJ performer. Excuse me. So I know that if you're a CJ performer, I think it's like 10 grand a month in commissions or something. I don't know what it is. Okay. So,
But it sits right next to the EPC and, you know, the average dollar sales. So I'd imagine.
for you,
For me.
for us, it just shows a bar ranking.
Sure.
Right.
Okay.
Now, there is a scale that equates to that bar ranking, but off the top of my head, I don't know the actual scale.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Christen, counterpoint?
What was the original question?
I don't know.
So as far as merchants and working with different affiliates or different affiliate managers that I play favorites. There's no bones about it. I totally play favorites, but that is absolutely 100% based off of how well do you communicate with me? How well do you meet my needs? And how well do you know, tell me no when I need to be told no, because I don't like taking that for an answer sometimes, but I need to. So I look at, you know, obviously what merchants are the best fit, but it's also, I'm looking at what affiliate managers are managing what programs. I'll go through and look specifically at OPM sites. For example, I'll go on to Snow, since Trisha's sitting right here, I'll go onto Snow's site and I'll look at their client list and be like, okay, so maybe not all of them are a great fit, but I can make something work here because I want to work with you.
Yeah.
Because I already work with you well and I want to work with you more. So for me, it's less about numbers because I'm the performer, obviously. It's more about the relationship for me. It's more about like, do I know that you're going to help me out, or am I just going to sit there and listen to radio silence all the time and be driving all of the traffic to your merchant, but you're not going to do anything to help me out there.
Yeah, and oh no, please.
And that's important too, that, you bring up the point of, you play favorites and, you work with other programs because you already work with me and you know that we work well together. I hear sometimes affiliates saying, I don't know why I can't get a higher commission, or I don't know why I drive all this traffic and they never offer me anything. And it's like, did you email them? Did you ask? Sometimes you can't get anything unless you ask.
Sometimes you just have to be bossy pants, and that's totally fine.
Sometimes. So yeah,
And so the tension begins.
But that's the point, though, is that you have to ask to get something. Very, very infrequently do we do anything that's based on just numbers and say, okay, well, these affiliates, met this performance metric that we were looking for them to meet, so we're going to give them a commission bump. Or, like performance incentives are kind of automatic. You hit a certain, tier and you get a higher commission to a degree, But there are other affiliates that don't hit those tiers, but they asked and they're nice and we work with them and they give us better, placement on their website and they drive a good amount of sales, but they maybe don't hit that tier. We give them the higher commission because we know that they're doing everything they can to hit that tier. But you don't know until you ask.
We touched on managing expectations earlier, and I want to expand on that a little bit more. I feel like new affiliates can sometimes come in not only overwhelmed, but also thinking like, oh my goodness, affiliate marketing, I can make $1 million right now. And obviously that's not the case for everybody. There's some magical people and they're like my heroes. But it is about managing expectations on both sides. There are some affiliate managers I work with who are so pushy.
Yeah, sorry about that.
It's not you. Just FYI, it's not you. But there are some that are very pushy, like, post about this, use this, blah, 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 blah. And for them, it's about pimping their merchant and not establishing the relationship, finding the common ground. And that's what builds the relationship. That's what builds a solid relationship, is finding the common ground between that. I don't want you to push whatever on me because it's not always going to work. That's not going to work with my readers. I know my readers better than you know my readers, but you know your merchant better than I do. So it's finding that common ground and establishing that, and also managing those expectations. Like, I'm not going to post about you every single week. I'll post about you maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe once a month, but I'm going to do it in a quality way.
Right. So let me sort of ask the follow-on question: is how often do you, and how easy is it to get a special deal, a landing page, a special promo code, a coupon, a discount, a giveaway? I mean, my experience as an affiliate is that it's really a mixed bag, and there are some affiliate programs where it really just falls on deaf ears. It's like, oh, can we do a special promo? No, we just give you 2% of the sale. That's the way it is. And there's others where it's like, you bet, we got this all rolling right now. So Tricia, maybe you can start. How often do you get those sort of requests, and generally do you do them?
Are we talking about from me specifically? Daily.
We'll get to you, Christen.
This is maybe not the answer you thought you were going to get, but I actually don't get those requests as often as I would like to get those requests.
Okay, so that's a great piece of data, and I think that's the kind of thing I was hoping we'd pull out here, because again, I think because the affiliate management systems like CJ present this as this huge data set, I think a lot of affiliates just assume you're just a number.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you don't reach out and try to build a relationship, you have no idea what else they can do that's special for you.
Yeah, because to a degree, the networks have tried in some ways to make special tools like widgets or videos or things like that available. So it's not all banner links and text links. But there's some things that we can do that are not in the network. It's not a network tool, like a special landing page or a co-branded landing page or a special code or something like that. So I would happily field all of those requests. Whether or not the merchant could actually do it, it's kind of a different story. That entirely is up to their, how technical is it? Do they have the technical prowess or resources to do it in their tech department. You know, that is a mixed bag, whether or not they can actually,
Sure.
you know, accommodate such a request. But I would happily field any request because that opens that door. Because, you know, maybe you ask me for a exclusive coupon code, and I look at your site and I look at your sales and I say, well, you know, in the last 6 months you've driven 2 sales. And so, you know, I'm sorry we can't offer you an exclusive code now, but we can review again next quarter. You know, so if your performance comes up before that, you know, you give us a little bit of ammunition to go to the merchant. You give us a little bit, and we can give you that, you know, exclusive. And I've heard the other way, how, you know, I was in a meeting the other day, how can I give you more without that exclusive? And it's like, yeah, I see that point too, but we can work something out, you know? And you don't know you can work something out with me until you ask me for it. So,
Right. So, Christen, on an average 4-hour window, how many requests do you send?
Probably at least 1 per 4 hours. I am definitely a needy affiliate or a demanding affiliate, but that's because I look at what's working and what's not working for me, and then I ask for what will work or what could potentially work. You mentioned, you know, not offering an exclusive discount until after you've seen performance. With my particular readers, the best introduction is the exclusive discount because we're a budget blog. So if I introduce a new merchant with like, yo, you're getting 15% off because they love you and they want to, you know, be homies, then that's going to be somebody that actually drives sales and drives conversions for me because that's the introduction. So,
and that's my job to understand the difference between your readers. I understand that you know your readers. You know that that's what's going to be the entryway for them into this merchant. And to know like a coupon site is different. People are going there for discounts, you know. So knowing that there's a difference between a blogger and a coupon site and a shopping comparison, and, you know, and different codes perform differently and, you know, things like that. So definitely and that's part of, and, you know, you say you're a needy affiliate, but you're, you know, a year and a half after a relatively new affiliate too. And so that's the benefit as well. You know, we talk about the quality versus the quantity and having a few quality relationships. Those few quality relationships, she's needy now. But in a year,
It should still be needy.
I mean, she'll still be needy. But you know what I mean?
But the level of neediness will have increased.
will subside. So that's the thing. I could spend, you know, an hour a day talking to you about, well, have you looked at widgets? Have you done this? Have you looked at data feeds? Are you getting more out of the data feed than just the picture? Maybe you're getting price or, you know, something. And then a year from now, she's rocking and rolling in the program and doesn't need me as much.
I'm always going to need you.
And, well, you know, that's because I'm me. And, you know, they're not as needy. You can take that hour a day that I spent helping her. Now she's rocking and rolling. She's got what she's going to do. I can take that hour a day and help somebody else. And so you end up with a quantity of those quality relationships, but those relationships change and they evolve into more friendships or more, you know, she always knows that my door's always open, and if there's something she needs from a new merchant, maybe, you know, our client list ebbs and flows too. So we have a new merchant, and I know that if I get a new merchant and I see that there's synergy with her site,
Hashtag synergy.
yes. So if I see that there's an opportunity there and it's a merchant that I just brought on, I'm going to holler at her and tell her, hey, there's this new merchant. I see this opportunity and you know, this. Tell me I'm crazy if I'm crazy. If you don't think your readers are into this or whatever, then I'll be a big girl and understand that you're one affiliate I can't recruit for this. So, you know, that relationship will always be there, but it'll just be different. And I can then focus my time on other relationships. So it's not, you know, people ask, you know, how do you have time for all of that? Well, that's kind of part of the job. You have to make time for it. And she's not kidding when she said that she's IM'd me at like 7 o'clock at night. about things because I'm a nerd. I'm on my computer. She's hanging out on her computer. So if you happen to be building links or whatever, I'm happy to answer a question. I don't care if I'm playing Castleville.
Yeah. I don't even know
I'll
what
answer your
Castleville is,
question.
but it's all good. But I think also that there's this sense that an affiliate manager's job is to recruit new affiliates.
Yes.
And I think that there are many affiliate managers that's what they measure themselves, or their boss measures them by, is how big's your affiliate network, as opposed to have you used it to cherry pick the best, and then are you working with them one-on-one to maximize that benefit?
Right. And that is actually, I can't lie, that is a struggle because we do often have clients asking, how many affiliates are recruiting, and it's part of our reporting, and we tell them, and trying to explain to them, well, we only recruited 5 affiliates at Affiliate Summit, but they're gonna knock the bottom out of your program. Trying to explain to them, we may only have 500 affiliates in your program and not 5,000, but the EPC is much higher because we don't have a lot of affiliates hanging around that aren't doing anything.
Right, it's
Does
that-
everybody know what EPC is? I don't. Okay. Guys, take it. I'm really
I don't know what it is. I was helping you.
Thank you.
I knew what it was, Wade. Jeez.
So I think it was really great that you asked if anyone
came
knew,
in late.
but
This
you
is a
didn't know.
shtick.
So that's good.
Right.
So I will say
yeah,
actually
it's earnings
that
per
I've been
100
pretty
clicks.
staggered here when you go and walk around the exhibit area, that there are signage from companies and it's all jargon and all acronyms, and I stand there and I look at it and it's just like, I've been in this business a really long time and I have absolutely no idea what you do.
I just found out yesterday what trying to buy somebody's traffic means.
What does it mean?
Basically, you have traffic. I'm trying to buy your traffic.
Oh, it's just another way to describe
I mean, that could be
affiliate
wrong too,
relationship.
but I thought I figured it out.
Okay, so now that we have all demonstrated our ignorance, I use that gently. Questions, anyone? You just yell it out. You can go to the mic if you want to be a good citizen. You don't have to. And go. Our first question.
Yes.
Brave
From
soul.
one of your minions.
Not my minions. Cohorts.
Hello, I'm Mindy from Budget Fairy Tale. Hello.
Woo!
Thank you. My heavens.
Thank you, camera guy.
My question is mostly for Trisha Lynn, and we were just kind of talking about this, and I was going to ask you before you brought it up about how you really feel about when bloggers ask for special perks. And I'm talking about products to review, like giveaways, gift card giveaways, that sort of thing. Is that something that you will entertain? I mean, do you like it? Do you hate it when we ask you for that? Like, what do you want to see from us in return from that? Can you just talk about maybe that type of relationship a little bit more?
You get nothing, ma'am. Good day. I will
That's
entertain.
No cupcake for you.
I will entertain any request. It all depends on the merchant and whether they will entertain the same request. Back to the managed expectations. I'm going to put my expectations out there because I feel, all right, I'll be honest. I feel that some bloggers have unrealistic expectations of what they can get for what they can deliver. There has to be a positive ROI. So jargon, return on investment. Okay, there has to be a positive return on investment. If they are asking for $1,000 and a free product to review a product that is, $25 or $50 product, it's very unlikely they're going to return the kind of traffic. Let me back up. It's very unlikely that they're going to return the kind of sales the merchant is looking for. They could have traffic all day long. There could be 10,000 clicks, but if it's not converting and there's no traffic, that is a negative ROI for the merchant, and they're not going to do it. They don't do, especially if they don't do paid placements on any other affiliate site, why would they do one on a blogger site? And I think that I have encountered a lot of bloggers who have unrealistic expectations based on brands. They've been working directly with brands, and brands have they have a different kind of budget, you know. They have a budget trying to get their brand out there. They're not looking for specific, they're looking for those impressions and the clicks. They're not looking for a specific conversion necessarily, because they want to know that people know their brand. That's a different, they're paying for something else entirely, you know. That's what they're paying for. We're not paying for that. So we can't pay a blogger the same rate that a brand would pay them, because we're looking for something different. We're looking for something actionable, an actionable sale, you know. So there's managed expectations. We can't provide something so high because this is performance marketing. So we're looking for performance. And that's not to say we can't provide anything. You know, if a blogger came to me and said, I want to review this jacket from She Inside, and I need $1,000 or I need $100 placement fee to do it, I would say, well, we can see about the jacket, but I can't do the $100 placement because.
Well, and that might change 3 campaigns later.
And it might,
they've
yeah,
drawn
it's
in
fluid.
Huge amounts of sales.
Right, it is very fluid.
Yeah.
But I can't take 100,000 impressions to a merchant because they're going to ask, well, what's their conversion rate?
Where's the money?
That's the metric that they're interested in. And so it's just, I would like to see a shift in bloggers understanding that working with a brand is different than working with an affiliate program. And working with an affiliate program is looking for a different metric than a brand is looking for. I don't either.
They absolutely don't.
Agreed.
Yeah, and that's just it is. Brands are looking for a different return than we are. And you know, we're very happy to work with bloggers, and bloggers can make amazing sales and have great, you know, incremental revenue. And it's not that blogging is a dirty word. It's not that mommy blogging is a dirty word. It's, you know, very happy to work with bloggers like you or like Christen. But you understand what we're looking for. And it's that light bulb moment where a blogger understands that this is a different kind of relationship. You know, our relationship is very casual and very fun, but at the end of the day, I know she's looking to make sales and I'm looking to make sales, and that's our joint goal. And so we will, you know, we'll go have drinks, but we'll set aside a time to pinpoint what's working about this program, what's not working about this program, what can we do to make it better. So, and I think brands are maybe not as hands-on as that.
So good question.
Yes,
You
thank
actually
you.
get the award for best question so far. Any other questions?
Oh, I see.
Another
Bring
big
it.
one. Bring it.
What up, sea chicken?
Christen, what do you think is the most misunderstood thing that the affiliate managers have about working with bloggers or content affiliates? What do you wish we understood better to work with you?
What do I got wrong?
Not you necessarily, but there are some affiliate managers who I feel like don't even look at my site to see what I do. They just push what they want to push without understanding who I am and what my goal is. Because there are some products that I just am not comfortable pushing in the way that I should or they want me to, and saying no to them or saying no to certain affiliate managers can be really difficult because they'll just turn around and ask in a completely different way or tell in a completely different way. And I think that it takes a little bit of research. It takes research on both ends, you know, who works well as an affiliate manager, you know, who's trusted, who's won Pinnacle Awards. You know, those are things that I personally take.
Rub it in.
For instance, but also who started a company that trained somebody that won a Pinnacle Award, you know?
That's right.
So
Who had dinner last night with someone who, never mind.
Yeah, Baba. So it's that, like, you know, I work to understand my affiliate manager to see if they actually do really work with affiliates and are comfortable working with affiliates on a fairly close level. But I also need my affiliate managers to know what the hell I do. Because it's not all sales all the time. We're very organic content, we're legit content, and we do a lot of evergreen stuff, but the evergreen stuff is what's gonna make money for everybody. So if if you can look at my site, Wade, you as an affiliate manager, if you look at my site and you're like, you know, you don't really do anything with like sports for weddings. You don't, you know, have any sports themed bachelor and bachelorette parties or, you know, rehearsal dinners or anything like team bride, team groom, everybody wears their favorite jersey or whatever. I think that your audience in particular could really benefit from that. I will turn around and I'll be like, you're right. I will work with you. Let's do something. Because you took the time to get to know me and approach me with a good idea. Because it's a pitch. I mean, it's always going to be a pitch on both sides. And there's a lot of understanding needed to make the right pitch.
Well, it's
Yeah,
just like
I
you
mean-
said, like I could easily help you with content ideas.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're going to be self-serving content ideas
Totally.
because, you know, Luna Bazaar comes out with vintage milk glass and I'm going to tell you, hey, check out this vintage milk
For
glass.
$3, yeah, you are.
Yeah. So, you know, I'm going to say, hey, check this out. There's a new thing. What if you did like a 1920s theme wedding or, you know, so bam. Anyway, so, you know, I could, if
She's
I
writing down
see,
discount everything Tricia says.
but that's exactly it. I took 10 minutes to kind of poke around your site, know what kind of things are on your site. And so that's in my mind when I get this thing. And I certainly don't have the time to blog and write about stuff, you know what I mean? So, but it doesn't mean I don't come up with ideas when I'm looking at my client sites.
Yeah,
So
well, and I
don't
think-
mind giving those away to affiliates. I'm not going to use them.
And I think
somebody
that's-
might as well.
Yeah, that's the big takeaway here, is that, you know, we've looked at sort of quality versus quantity from the affiliate manager side, but it's really both sides do that. I mean, if I had $1 for every time I got a Dear Mommy Blogger email, you know, it'd be like I wouldn't need to be an affiliate because I'd be doing fine. Haven't figured that one out yet. But a little bit of time, a little investment on either side, I think generates some really great benefit. So we have time for 2, possibly 3 amazingly complicated questions. Do we have any? Any more? You don't even have to stand up. I will repeat your question. No, we have crickets. So I have one last question for you guys.
Yes.
All right.
Analytics. So do you believe the analytics that these systems give you, or do you go and do your own research? And Christen, why don't you start?
What systems are you talking about?
Anything. Someone reports to you, I have this many followers. Or you go to CJ and they have 5 bars. Things
Gotcha.
like that. Is it legit?
So I don't really feel like that's a super legit question for me. However, the way I look at analytics is I'm looking at the stats when I'm joining a program. So obviously I join based on the relationship, but I'm also looking at what's your reversal rate? What's your EPC? You know, what's the commish? Seriously, because if you're 2%, I'm probably not going to work with you because that's not worth it for me. I don't want you in front of my eyeballs and only giving
Unless
me
you're selling like a
2%.
$2,000 product or
Yeah,
something.
but then, you know, and I want to touch back on what we were saying earlier about looking is, or the pitch is, Dear Mommy Blogger. I get pitched by like super high-end companies a lot, and I'm like, y'all broke ass bride, it's in my email. That doesn't make any sense at all. But
Yeah.
so anyway, I look at a lot of the stats about the actual program and the merchant and how other affiliates have done with it, because that makes sense for me. But I think analytics are different on your side.
Speaking of it's in my email, you know, my email is my name at Snow-Consulting. Spell my name right when you
Serious.
email me. I'm just saying. We both have, well, I don't know if mine is the common spelling of Trisha or not, but, you know, there's 2 spellings that are common. Pick the right one. And yours
I
is
go
not.
from Christen to Christina to like a totally different spelling, and sometimes Crystal,
Yeah.
which is the worst.
I'm going to call you Crystal from now on.
I get Teresa sometimes. I don't know why. So anyway, it depends. I think one thing that the blogging community, if you know, you mentioned, you know, I have X many followers. I think one thing the blogging community has done well is trained bloggers how to find those stats on themselves, those self-reported stats. They know where to look in Google Analytics or whatever to know how many unique page views they get, because brands ask that, you know, so they want to know. So I do trust when somebody tells me I have this many followers, I have this many, you know. I'll definitely go look and kind of take a peek, but I'm not looking to verify that the stats are correct. I'm looking to see what kind of things they're posting and, things like that. So it just serves, two birds with one stone, just kill,
Right, okay, great. So I'm gonna stop you here. And I'm
All right.
doing that because I want you to have each give us one little tiny takeaway, if you would be so kind.
Don't be afraid to reach out for affiliates. Don't be afraid to reach out to your affiliate manager. They're there for a reason, and that reason should be to help you. And if they don't help you, go find somebody that does, because it's not worth your time.
And
We get paid to help you, for one.
So
that's
B-
your, we get paid to help you.
We get paid to help you. Be where affiliates are. So if you find that there is a large following of wedding bloggers or whatever your niche is on Facebook, be on Facebook. If you sell music and you find that there's a ton on MySpace of all places, be on MySpace. Be where your affiliates are. Be on the forums they're on. Be on IM if you find that they all use Skype or they all use AOL Instant Messenger or MSN Messenger or whatever. Be where they are so that they can contact you, and make your contact information known.
Yep, and
They
that's
can't
it.
contact
So-
you and ask if they don't know your email.
So thank you guys for coming. I apologize there weren't enough chairs, but we worked it
Yeah.
out. And enjoy
There's
the
some
rest of the
laps
show,
sitting.
and you can totally find any of us. That's why we have the contact info up on the screen. Thanks.
yay! Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you. I'm eating my cupcake now.